Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, welcome back to the intervention. This is Mr. Greco. I am going to be in the same room as you, so I should be in there right now. But I kind of wanted to try something a little bit different this week, so I decided to go ahead and record this lesson so that you guys can kind of go at your own pace a little bit while doing this. We are going over the revising section in the different types of questions and how to solve the different types of questions that go along with it. And in order to do that, okay, we're going through a lot of stuff, and it would be rushed in the classroom, so we just decided, or I just decided, to make a video of it and have you guys go on the computers and kind of look through it and practice it on your own way. And then plus you can view these at home as well, just in case you guys are feeling a little bit nervous about what's coming up at the STAR test. But the revising section, and I probably just got done telling you this, is so different from the editing section, and yet students tend to think it's the same thing, and it's not. The editing section is all about grammar, apostrophes, commas, you name it, spelling, okay? It is all about grammar. Revising couldn't be any more different. Revising is very much about fixing an essay, and what that means is in order to fix an essay, you got to know what that essay is about. You got to know what the thesis is, you got to know what the conclusion, you got to know the examples. So because of that, on editing, you don't really have to read everything. You read the sentence before and after, and you fix the sentence. Revising, that is not true. Revising, you better read every single sentence, every single paragraph. In fact, that is part of the procedure, is you summarize every single paragraph. Yes, every single one. That is an absolute non-negotiable in terms of doing the revising. Now, we're going to start off with the thesis and the conclusion. Now, the example I'm giving you is the thesis, but in reality, they both are the same type of question. A thesis statement is you're stating the main idea, okay, or your answer to the question. It's what everything is based on. Your examples prove your thesis, okay? Conclusion, it's the same way. Even though I'm not going to go over a conclusion question, it's the same skill. Is that basically you have to figure out which one matches, which thesis matches with the examples written down in the essay. Okay? Once you figure that out, it's pretty easy to answer these questions. Conclusion's the exact same way. Okay? Now, first off, the first step is we start off kind of like ICSAP, except you don't have to do evidence and ideas, is you try to figure out what is the sentence that we're looking for. So let's read the sentence. Which sentence could best replace sentence 7 to better state the thesis? Now keep in mind, you guys, this is a very short example because a long example would take too much time and too much video. So keep that in mind. Typically it's going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so we know sentence 7 is messed up. Okay, we're going to have to really fix that. Okay, so then we've identified what sentence is wrong. So we're going to read it and then summarize it and then pick the one based on that. So, rainwater harvesting is the collection of rainwater for gardening and other uses. I recently helped my aunt and uncle set up a rainwater collection system for watering her flower and vegetable gardens. She told me that while our town's water supply is safe to drink, it naturally contains salts and other minerals that can keep roots from growing. What water is best for plants? Rainwater. It is a valuable resource that shouldn't be wasted. Using inexpensive hardware and recycling, a large plastic barrel made this a low-cost project, too. So we know that that sentence is garbage. We're going to have to throw it out, okay? Now their garden will benefit, and they will use less water from the town. Okay, so let's summarize, okay? Basically, what is this entire sentence about? The first thing that it's about is collecting rainwater, okay? My handwriting is atrocious, so that says collecting rainwater, okay, just so you know. Now, it's also about not using the town's water. And then you also remember that it talks about it's good for plants. Good for plants. Okay, good for plants. Okay, so basically, we're going to read through the answer choices and determine which thesis statement matches up with that summary we just made. That's why the summary is so important in revising, guys, because if you don't know what that summary is, it's going to be really, really hard to answer the question correctly. So, Don't waste the rainwater. Collect it in a barrel instead. Okay, so let's go over our summary. Does it talk about collecting rainwater? It does. Does it talk about not using the town's water? It doesn't really talk about that. Does it talk about being good for plants? It doesn't talk about that. So that's not really a great one. We're going to put that away. Okay, B, it is better for growing plants not to use the water that comes out of the tap or faucet, even though it is the easiest method. Now, does it talk about collecting rainwater? No. Does it talk about not using the town's water? Kinda, sorta. Does it talk about it being good for plants? Kinda, sorta. Okay, so we'll go ahead and leave that one. Okay? C, we should do what we can do to reduce water use. Conserving will lower the family water bill. Okay? Now, does it talk about collecting rainwater? Not really. Does it talk about not using the town's water? Kinda. Does it talk about being good for plants? No. That's a pretty bad one. And D, collecting the rain to fall on your roof and storing it provides an excellent water supply for growing plants and reduces the demand on your local water supply. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this one doesn't include collecting rainwater. It does. Does it talk about not using the town's water? It does. Does it talk about being good for plants? It does. Even though there's some good things about this one one has more evidence. Okay? Now, you would do the same thing for conclusion. It would be structured the same way. It might be saying, which sentence could be added at the end in order to further conclude your story? Where your conclusion is just restating your thesis. So which one matches up with the examples that you picked? Okay, now I want you guys to practice.